Crazy day today. Putting in my 2 weeks notice. What's kind of funny is the current employer I'm about to leave. I've been there about a year and a couple months. A year and a month. So he just offered me a supervisor position for the weekend shift that they're creating last week, and I said let me think about it because I went to Michigan to see what was going on over there, if I get a job over there. Well, I got the job. I knew I'd get the job, but I just wanted to make sure. I got a place to go. Everything's set up. So I accepted the offer because I didn't hear back from the job. I accepted it on Monday. I didn't hear back from the job because I called them yesterday, and they confirmed that they got my background check and everything. And they said as soon as they get up there, I got to take another drug test because it's been over a month since I took a drug test. And then I'll probably start on the 29th or the 30th or something like that. I'm wanting to start away. I want to start working right away. I want to hit the ground running. I mean, I could screw off a little bit, but I just don't want to go even farther into the hole than I already am. I'm already spending a lot of money moving all the way back to Michigan from Missouri. But I just don't want to have to get into my investments, you know what I mean? I don't want to have to sell my silver and gold and crypto or any of that. But this is the thing is, so I took the offer not knowing if I had the job yet. Now I'm putting in my 2 weeks notice. And, normally I think that if you like your employer, you'd kind of feel bad about the situation, taking the position and then resigning a couple days later. I'm not really too fond of that place. I learned a lot. I've went through a lot of bullshit there, a ton of bullshit. But I've learned a lot. I even helped paint the NFL draft stage, and that's pretty cool. But they didn't give profit sharing the last quarter. If we're not doing good, which I don't know how we're not doing good because we've been pretty damn busy. But, if we're not doing good, that's one thing. If we're so dead because we ain't got no work. But we've had work. We've been busy. We've been consistently busy. Pretty much. But there's no communication to not having it last quarter. And that's huge. If people rely, when people start to rely on that type of thing, we rely on every quarter, gonna get some type of a check, a profit sharing, and you get nothing, and then nothing, no communication that you got nothing. It's like a slap in the face, especially when they, I think that out of all the raises, because they did the yearly raise like typical boomer companies do, is like every year we'll do an evaluation for your raise. I think I probably got the greatest percentage of a raise, which I definitely earned, because I should have got some type of a raise, maybe like a 6% raise instead of like a 13% raise 6 months before. So that was a decent raise, and then I get myself a raise by going to second shift and getting that $2 premium, which has really helped out. But they only gave people a 3% raise. And then when you pay less for medical insurance, and then people have to pay more for medical insurance. You know, at one point of this year, until I got my raise in like February, I was making less than I did last year because I had to pay more for my medical. When you slap people in the face and like here's a piss poor 3% raise when people have been dealing with 9% inflation, that's what they were recording and they were saying. But if they judged it inflation like they did in the old times, or real inflation with, you know, rent or housing and all that other crap, it was more around 17% for the year. And we're still going through inflation. I mean, I think that it's more stable now. Things just kind of leveled off somewhat, but we're still dealing with inflation. And for them to come to you and say, here's a 3% cost of living, no, you should at least give everyone a 10% cost of living raise. At least. That's the bare minimum. But they don't. And this is why people don't want to work. This is a reason why people don't want to work. Why can't I find no one to work? I wonder why. Because this company, like, you know, when I worked on day shift, they were on you. Oh man, if you work 10 hours, you get like, I think you get a lunch, 30-minute lunch you don't get paid for, and then you get 3 breaks, 10-minute breaks. And as soon as you get off of that break, and you better not be late, you better not go to break early, they better not catch you not doing anything. Like they're like, they think that you're wasting time, and they're on you. And they act like they're paying you $40 an hour when they start people off at 18. You know, they act like they own you. And it's like, when you're working people that hard, or you expect people to work hard and you don't pay them, it causes resentment. Especially when you're paying pretty much what everyone else is starting out at like a factory or warehouse position in this city. There's some perks, you know, I get shoes every year for work boots. I think they pay like $80 on them. Or, and you know, they provide me clothes. I get filthy, man. So, but I don't get to keep the clothes. But when you act like that, when you treat people like shit, when you see them just letting good employees walk out the door, who built a facility, like my facility in paint, like it's only been open a year. We've had a lot of growing pains. The guy that started it, he painted the walls. He put a lot of things together, the whole department together. They just let him go. They didn't fire him or nothing, but they didn't give him respect. They talked down to him. They kind of act like he was expendable. And this guy was amazing. He taught me a lot of shit. And he had 40 years worth of paint experience. And to let that just go out the door by not giving him a couple extra bucks of a raise or something, that just shows like what they think of you. That's why I'm saying there's no point to be loyal to employers. They're not going to be loyal to you. You do what's best for you. You don't hurt yourself for any company. You only have one body. You have one back. There's no point to kill yourself for a company. Now, if you're doing it for your own personal gain, you do what you need to do, but you don't do it for a company, man. And this is why people give the bare minimum. At nights, we get work done. We do a lot of work at night. And we take it easy too. We don't have to sit there and work the whole 10 hours straight. We do a lot of work. We probably do as much work as we would be working during the days. We work hard, and then maybe we take a little bit extra time for breaks or whatever. But the work is done, and we work hard. And there's a lot of people that have been quitting this company. When you treat people like crap, that's what happens. I haven't been as aggravated lately because the conditions I'm working in aren't as bad as they were. But it is what it is. People want to, like, why don't people want to work? I don't know. Maybe they don't get paid enough. Like, maybe they get treated like shit, and they're like, fuck this, man. You can't be like that with the next generation. You can't be like that with Gen Z. You can't treat them like shit and not pay them anything and expect them to want to work. And this is a huge reason why we have a worker shortage. People don't want to do the dirty jobs. Plus, you got to deal with toxic bosses. But yeah, that's it.